Welcome to Get Your FRQ On. In this video, I'm going to show you about what the mode button does on your graphing calculator. Basically, the mode button is going to allow you to control a bunch of settings for your calculator. If we click on the mode button, you get this huge menu. At the very top, you see Math Print versus Classic. Now, most of the time, this isn't going to matter. Math Print will actually, for the most part, show up as standard mathematical notation on your calculator screen. If you switch this to Classic, typically what's going to happen there is you're going to get the old school notation for the TI-84 calculator. If you recognize those functions, great, but the Math Print will be probably closer to what you would recognize as correct mathematical notation. If we go down a level, normal pretty much just means when it displays an answer, it's going to do its best to provide you with the simplest version of that answer. Otherwise, you can set it to be like scientific notation or engineering notation. You can control how many decimals it's going to give in every answer. Float simply means that if it requires 3, it'll show you 3. If it requires 6, it'll show you 6. But you can set that to be the same number every time. You can change the angle mode from radian to degree. What type of function are you going to plot? Are you plotting a typical y equals function, a parametric function, a polar function, or a sequential function? How do you want that to show up? Do you want it to be thick? Do you want it to be thick but dots? Do you want it to be thin? Do you want it to be thin but dots? If you're graphing more than one function, the sequential will graph them one after the other, and simultaneous will graph them all at the same time. You can set your calculator to work with complex numbers and complex numbers in polar form. And then you can set the screen. Do you want it to be full screen on whatever it is you're doing? Do you want there to be a horizontal split between typically the graph and your home screen? Or would you rather it be a split between your graph and the table? You can set how you want fractions to appear and a bunch of other things. This is not a real calculator screen, so I'm not going to worry about the time here. You can set the language as well. So there's a lot of different things that you can control using your mode button on your calculator.